So just setting up, I want to make sure it's lined up perfectly. Let's get this a little more lined up with the kind of the helmet so you guys can see that a little better. I'll probably bring you guys a little closer to the action. See if we got a nice shot of the helmet. And get all chats. All messages. Alrighty. So this live stream, we're just going to kind of show the sword a little bit. Sword and the protection of this helmet here. We're going to start off by first getting our flag back up and running. This is a very windy area we're at. The propel is still kind of currently down. So we'll start today getting that flag up and running where we want it. So one of the things I gotta work on the sword, I gotta get this fixed again, is I was working on a pommel. I did a test pommel here with wood, as you can see. So more or less the sword's gonna look something like that when it's all said and done. But the wood is weak and the metal is what we're going with. For the SCA, we're going to attack our opponent. We're going for usually the size of the head. Sometimes you get the top. That's kind of well defended. So you're trying to target, you're always looking at your opponent's eyes. You're kind of like watching their movement, kind of being aware of their overall macro body mechanic movements. And you're trying to anticipate where they're going. And they're going to give you feints. So they're going to be false movements. That's going to throw you off. They call them feints. So we're going for like headshot. Right? You see that? You know how loud that is? Wish I had something to demonstrate how much damage. Okay. I don't care about this thing as much. That's just a chair. Imagine that being your arm. The kind of damage that can do. We don't play with like light weapons that, you know, that are friendly or conducive. So that can actually deal some real serious damage, which is why we wear armor and padding and all that sorts of things out there. So when you see this stuff, and you see this combat stuff, just know we're putting ourselves in harm's way for the sport. So it's not going to be as brutal as actual gladiatorial combat, but it's pretty out there. So I can give you an idea. And that was a steel chair of some sort. So. Offset, right? So you come up over here, offset, right? Flat snap, right? Normally your target's not down here, but when they're on their knees, when you leg them, they're going to be on their knees about this height here. You have to kind of get past their shield up and over. There's going to be a lot of up and over attacks, right? Or thrusting. And remember how I said earlier that the thrusting tip is something we worry about? That finally gave way, me just using it. So on the next video, I'm going to be taping and getting that fixed up. It's not hard, it's just duct tape. So for now, so I don't lose the tip, we're just going to remove this for now. And that just naturally happens as you're doing this sport, you're sparring with people, is that the tip will want to come off. I'll tear that duct tape up, and this is a impact foam gel, and that protects your nougat from taking that directly into the face, because this will fray and cause injury, blind you, what have you, and that's why they wear put the thrusting tips on them, so it doesn't do any of that stuff. So the thrusting tip takes all that kinetic energy and damage, and not your eyeballs. And this is a good test of the helm as well, because I'm going to be wearing this with people hitting me that hard. So what you don't want is the helmet to fail at any point when you're getting hit, because they're going full force and they're using their hip. So if you ever watch them fight, it's not just a static arm, right, like that. It's not like this, like baseball, right? You're using basically your whole body mechanics, your movement, right, and your hip throwing shots out. So if you ever watch me, I'll have my shield, and you'll kind of see that my shield come out this way while I'm protecting this line of defense and thrusting outwards, which allows me to tempt my opponent to throw a shot. And then I'll back up, retreat, and get him with an offset. Most of the time, if you're watching me when I do get kills, it's through the slot, through this way. So, and I'll get them with the reach the weapon. Me just stepping out. What that kind of looks like. So right here, you can see, can't really reach them. You step forward, I can suddenly reach them. Right? Step forward, I can reach them. If I just stand here, right? No danger whatsoever. Step forward, now they're in danger. So you're doing a lot of footwork when you're fighting out there. So that's why you'll see me kind of shift, right? Same thing goes with two-handed weapons. So this is a sword and a half. I can use it as one-handed or two-handed. If I just stand over here, no danger whatsoever. Step forward, right? Now have to put more power in that shot. Same goes with ascending cut, right? No danger. Now he's in danger. So footwork is very important when you're doing any kind of sport. I'm sure you guys, if you guys done any kind of full contact sport, boxing, kickboxing, whatever, foot movement and placement is kind of key. You watch my feet, you always see me move this way because you don't want to cross your legs. This is the weakest point of center of gravity you'll have. You can be thrown off balance. So you want to mitigate crossing your legs unless you have to. Right? You're always strong chance you keep your foot low to the ground as you move. Kind of that movement there you saw. Obviously, nothing's impervious. There's probably weak points to every stance, and you can be thrown off balance at any point. But foot movement or foot placement is pretty important when you're doing combat and the tempo of the dance. Right? One way, another way you can use your step forward is you just do one step forward. Now he's in danger. Not in danger. Now he's in danger. Or this way. Now he's also in danger. Depends on what kind of move you're trying to follow up with. What's up? To battle, yes. Yeah, I'm just doing some practicing, showing the power of this weapon here. I destroyed the thrusting tip, so the next video I gotta go fix the thrusting tip. Pop right off. So that's one of the dangers you have when you have a thrusting type weapon, the SCA. This thing can fall right off. So you gotta be aware of your thrusting tip at all times, because that can injure somebody right there. That's a solid rattan weapon. It's a weapon simulator, or weapon simulator, kind of similar to paintball. If you play paintball, it stings about that much. Another thing you want to do when you're fighting your opponent, and I still try to fix this, is you want to move side to side and try to get a better angle on, as I was cutting the steel, you're trying to get a better angle on attack. Get it around their defenses. Find an opening. Alright. Right, so you're going to be moving like this. Not really crossing your legs. You normally will never get behind someone in the SCA, but if you do, out in Aidenville, they have something called death from behind. Put the sword across their face and say, "You are dead from behind," or "death from behind." In Glen Ree, you have to basically show yourself to the side of their eye and say, "Sir, you are dead from behind," and let them know, but they still engage you. Pop them. But you're trying to make sure they're at least aware of your presence so they can brace for the impact. Fatso! Oh no! That's the whole point of this channel, is to lose weight. We're down 100 pounds already doing all this stuff. So we started at 390 down to 283 last I checked. So yes, I am fat. I would have never known had you not been here to tell me, good sir. Let me go get my pole arm. So that's the long sword, or this is a sword and a half. That's what this is. I'm gonna get my Bec de Corbin as the primary weapon of choice that I use. I'll be right back. Move, dog. Move. Those are my pole axes. That's what I get for not paying attention. But anyways, so this is a pole axe. This is a training pole axe. It's actually a lot heavier than most weapons out there. You see in the SCA, they do 1.25 inch diameter. This is obviously bigger than 1.25 inch. This is about double the weight. No, I am practicing for the SCA, Society of Creative Anachronism. It is a heavy combat sport, so we're not really role playing. There's no, oh, my armor is a +3 or has a AC of whatever. It's more like I smack the crap out of you until you go, hey, that hurt, or you got me clean. I'll show you what a clean shot is. So you kind of hear that. You hear this a lot in the SCA. It's plain. So a clean shot. It's gonna be one that's gonna be basically undefended. You're gonna hear that, right? That's what you're gonna hear. A lot of clank, right? I'll kind of show you the damage that these style of weapons can do. This is something I don't really care about. That's a steel lawn chair. Imagine this being your forearm, right? This is what we're hitting each other with. So you don't want to be, you don't want your arm in the way of that. So, right. So just so you kind of aware of what the sport is. So this is a rubberized axe head. It does have closed cell foam on it. This prevents a lot of the kinetic. Because if it was just basically a big dumb weapon, you could actually kill someone with this. So they pad a lot of this stuff to prevent that. And I'll show you a good attack I had on me with a greatsword. So a greatsword did that to my 16 gauge steel, mild steel gauntlets. So that's kind of the hits we take. Hence why you want to wear good armor. So a pole axe is a medieval versatile weapon. I can come in close range, from A range, I can come in at B range, or I can come at a little further range. It is a knightly weapon used to defeat primarily armored opponents. Unarmored opponents, they'd have no problem with it. Let's make sure we always pick up our Crusader flag. I made something just for this thing. Now we no longer have that problem. So on a pole axe, you'll have one of two things. You'll have an axe head. You have a hammer head. Or you'll have a beak, which is also technically an axe, and a hammerhead to get through armor. A spike on both ends to defeat armor. So you're going to be changing your stances, right? As they come in. This is a martial weapon. Right? Threaten them with the point, and they get the top. So similarly with the sword, footwork will give you more range. See, now I'm past him, so now I can step back, and this is the proper range I need to be at. Thrusting, a little bit difficult, especially this new knob I added. So. That's all I'm going to be doing is threading with the point. They don't want to get hit by this thing. In case you're wondering what this is made of. 16 gauge steel sides, quarter-inch steel front, 14 gauge steel top. So this weighs about 20 pounds. My entire kit weighs about 55 pounds altogether. This is the primary stance you're going to see the pole arm. Depending on your opponent. Against another pole arm, it's going to be this. Against a sword and board, it's going to be this, because I want to threaten them with the spike on this end and this end as well. Because you have to get around that shield. So a lot of what you're going to be doing is hooking. Right here with this. Hooking. Thrusting. And if I can kind of demonstrate it, depending if the pole arm works, we'll use this as an example if I can have it steady. So if you can see that, why you're like this and my axe head is basically parallel to that, so I can catch it. You can catch and move it where you want. Draw them into them, right? You keep driving the point home. When you come back, they're going to want to get away. They're going to squirm off somewhere, go somewhere else, and with that, or that, usually. So that's the primary role of the pole axe. That's the only way to defeat a pole arm opponent. Classes? I am taking classes. If you watch the videos, we're going to fighter practice every single week. So, in fact, I have whole live stream videos of that, where I'm going there and learning from other people that are in the same sport as I am. So I'm about almost 2 years in this sport now. 2 years. So does that answer your question about the classes? So, and the way I learn, I don't learn in classroom settings anyways usually. I learn by getting beat up or doing something repeatedly, finding the best possible avenue of victory. So, and then eventually when I'm not able to but figure out on my own what I need to be doing, then I'll revert to learning something from YouTube or what others are doing and kind of see what they're up to. One of the things my ninth was telling me about is doing a figure 8 movement with the pole arm. So this right here, just doing this without me sweating, huffing, puffing, and dying, took me about 2 years to do. Right? Because again, this is a training weapon. This is twice as heavy as everyone else is wielding out there in the field. So, one way I train as well to get my forearm strength up is I hold it out this way, like a lever against you. And what I'm doing is I'm holding up that weight to the end of the axe head and holding that. And I keep training that way. And over time, as we make small changes, it gives you the desired outcome. Sport. Sport requires physical exertion to achieve a goal. Usually, sometimes requires a ball. It can take other forms such as kickboxing. This is a martial sport because you just don't win because I have a big axe. You win because I got the hit in. If you've seen fencing or kendo, that's a sport. So it's very similar to that. So some people do score points in tournaments, but I don't participate in tournaments currently. And if you look at some of my other videos, I actually am training. We're doing, let's see, this is actually an outdoor gym of mine. So we got sandbags. £25 kettlebell. Sir Lift a Lot. I think this is, yeah, Sir Lift a Lot is what we call this guy. That's primarily what I do. A lot of lifting, but I don't need to do any more strength training. Currently I'm working on cardio, so I'm doing a lot of running, a lot of exercises. I find running and exercising, making a video with that, somewhat difficult and boring. I'd rather do the actual impact sport or weight training, but I have not been doing weight training because I'm working on cardio. Cardio is where I'm suffering currently. And I'm on the ketogenic diet where our macros are high fat, moderate protein, low carb. 1,300 calories is what I'm targeting. 12 to 1,300 calories is what I'm targeting. So, does that answer all your questions? I like to fully explain what I'm doing and why. So, but I appreciate all the comments, even the Fatso one. It definitely helps. Let your haters be your fuel. Fuel the fire, as we're. So we started in August of 2023. It is now in the year of our Lord 2024, December. What is it? 18th? 17th, something like that. I haven't looked at the date. But it's going to be 2025 here in a couple weeks, and I look forward to it. So I'm just training up for the coming practices. The wars that are up in the air, whether I can attend them or not. It's usually due to financial reasons or some other personal reason. I'm not able to attend. So because a family member is sick, so it's been very, very hard to do what I want. So I'm trying to do everything through this live stream, through the channel, with you guys, and just kind of like making sure I keep my focus on what I'm doing. any heavy weapon, this is like a weapon of pain for me, more likely, because I'm going to be losing all the time. If I want to win, I got to go get a lighter weapon than this. So when you're using a pole axe, it's you're going to be going up and down the haft of the weapon, right? So want more power, right, for the swing, come down here like this. Want more power in the thrust, or if you're threatening with the spike, you can do it this way as well, because you can switch, right? But I learned you have to be very careful in the SCA, because we're not allowed to smack people with the haft. You got to be very careful when you switch, right? And then you're only threatening with the points that are illegal. That's another way to get some range out there. You can choke up on it like this, make them think you're going short range, right? Come at them with the thrust. So. Moving around your opponent, like they're trying to find angles, right? Thrusting is one way to threaten. I go up with the leg, come up there with the actual hammer bit, bringing down the hammer, right? So it's a feint. So I've done that before. You feint them, then you attack them, right? Feint, because they're going to protect from a thrust. Get them from there as they back up. So there's a lot of options you can do with the pole arm, such as this. Hopefully that answered your sport or hobby question. Both, I guess. Depends on how you want to approach it. Some people approach it as hobby, purely a hobby. They don't train or exercise. I'm approaching it as a actual martial sport. Because to actually win, you have to be able to move, right? Yeah, thank you. Yeah. I got more along the way. This is just the training one, essentially. This is the super heavy, everyone tells me, stop using this thing. I don't like fighting against it. Slow as molasses weapon. But, as you can see, if you ever pay attention to this channel since last year, just 5 swings of this thing, just doing this, wore me out. To where I dropped the weapon. And now I can sit here all day if I wanted to, and mess with this thing, and that's like a godsend, right? You don't realize how much of a blessing it is to be liberated from that kind of thing. Yeah. I say it's a bit of both. That's however you want to approach it. A lot of people approach it hobby. That's fine. I approach it as both, right? I'm using it as a tool. It's a means to an end to the goals I'm wanting to attain, which is weight loss. So. The only 2 times in my life I've lost weight, both was in the SCA. I just find the gym lifting weight up, putting it down, lifting it up, bores me to tears. So I need something where I'm constantly active, moving around, right? Or if I choose to lift weight, it's a choice at that point, right? I choose to lift this weight. I choose to lift this weight. I'm not forced by some strict regimen to do so. I choose to do it. That's why I do the SCA. And the reason I choose to do it is because I want to get better at hitting people with this thing, right? So, in order to hit people better with this thing, I have to lift up that thing. Or, lift up this 125-pound sandbag. In order to do that, I gotta do that. Helps. So, it kind of gets you in the mindset while I'm thinking. But I appreciate your liking the channel. I always love to just share passion of mine, share the Lord. It's another way, a reason I love it. I can share my Crusader persona to the world, my faith. I try to have it exude through me in everything I do. So, definitely helps. Right, that's why I want to do farm work. Farm work, stuff like that would interest me. Right, like I look at my yard and I think about all the stuff I got to do in the yard, and I only have so much time on this earth. So yeah, that's one of the things I got to do. I'm working on a garden project as well. That's why I kind of like the medieval thing. I can come and just do old school stuff. Right? I'm free to do what I want within the confines of a medieval themed existence. So even though it is, we do live in the modern world, right, and we have modern things, we can still use some of the old school way of thinking when approaching problems. Like farm work, there's not enough farmers anymore, man, right? With all these food recalls, I'm thinking maybe I should learn how to grow my own food, right? Hence why I started the garden project here, right? So I started a stock tank and filling it up with debris and other stuff. I'm still learning about making a garden, and I'm trying to use as little money as possible because money is very tight. It's a finite resource. So I'm trying to utilize the land that's been gifted to me to make this project happen. I still need to get some topsoil and other things for the project. So I mean, look how light this is, right? So like this, like super light to me. That's crazy. Like it feels like nothing. So that's why I do the strength training and why I hurt myself. So it's kind of like, if you ever watch anime, Goku, he does the same thing, right? Wears all that stuff, restrictive things to achieve certain goals. So now I can stay outside all day raking leaves if I wanted to. So if you're wondering what the practical use of this sport is, that's one right there. I can rake leaves all day. It will not bother me. In fact, you need to start raking leaves anyways for the garden. Now you get a whole pile. But I can do that another day on the live stream. Not a live stream, but you know what I'm saying, in my own free time. Currently this is the medieval channel and I can easily get distracted. So I apologize if I got distracted raking leaves, but I just want to show like the practical use of, you know, training with stuff like this. If you're asked, how can this help me? Well, if you're out of shape, fat, programmer, whatever, doing this every week for years on end, you can rake your leaves. And you have a happy wife, happy life. Or if I want to lose weight, get in shape, right? There's a reason to do this now. You're wearing all that armor. Gotta keep going, keep pushing. Be worthy of the armor that you wear. Anyways, that's a good live stream. Hope to see you guys in the next one. Go ahead, like, comment, subscribe. We're getting to 1,000 subscribers. We're at 932 last I checked. I gotta eat lunch with the missus, and I can't spend all day being a medieval person. So I want to appreciate y'all, and God bless, and see you in the next one.